Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live on YouTube. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jaybird. Today's date is Sunday, September 7th, 2025. It is also the seventh day of Child Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm home alone currently at the moment. So, Dad and Amy, they had to go uptown to get some supper, I think, for tonight. But they will most likely come walking in anytime during this live broadcast. So I hope you're all doing well out there. I've been doing pretty good. This past week was extremely busy, and I'll get to that in just a second. However, we have some comments in chat from Chewing Off My Toenail. He decided to grace us with his humor this week. So, yeah, before I'm going to read these off, but I want to I've been trying to clean this off, this area back here. As you can see, I haven't been as successful as I would like to be, but everything takes time. So this week, Chewing Off My Toenail says, I had to put my toenail in timeout today because he wouldn't stand up for my morning sausage bagel. um, then he says, when it thunders outside, you can see my toenail shaking under my blanket. um, Whenever I play peekaboo with my toenails, they smile like the sunshine. um, Yesterday, my toenails had so much fun on the swing set that they didn't want to come home. uh, whenever, excuse me, sinuses. Whenever I drizzle a little syrup on my waffles, my toenails give me an evil stare. I can't go on living like this. And last but not least, he says, have a great show. I have to put my toenails down for a nap. Maybe that's why they look angry and maybe they're tired. I don't know. Thank you so much, Chewing Off My Toenail. And as a reminder, tonight is the Fox Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And Dan wasn't on the air last week because he was at a Twins convention in Norfolk, Virginia. He's back this week. Looking forward to an awesome show tonight. So I apologize for constantly clearing my throat. My sinuses are just giving me shit and they're draining into my throat. 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, the Fox Sunday Flashback is at 7 o'clock tonight, Eastern Time, 103.9 The Fox. The request number is 810-230-9777, 810-230-9777. 9777 spells out WRSR, which are the call letters for the radio station. So let's see if, because Luna's outside barking. So I'm going to see if, nope, Dad and Amy are not home yet. Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. I can hear Amy yelling. Let's look at the east camera. They're home. Yep, there they are. They're home. And that's my cell phone giving me the push notification that someone is moving on the camera. So they are back just in time. They went to get groceries, but they are back just in time for the Sunday video update. There's a lot to talk about. So I wanted to clear something up that I said on last week's show. And one of my friends who was a regular in the chat, his name is Spinette. He was talking about artificial, we were talking about artificial flavoring. He says his friend won't eat actual watermelon, but he'll eat artificial watermelon, the artificial flavor. And I had made a statement claiming that artificial flavors come from natural flavors. They don't. I misspoke. I was incorrect about that. Artificial flavors are factory made. They're chemically made. They're not, extracts from natural flavoring. They are in fact factory made. They are chemical based flavors. So, and here comes Dad and Amy right now with food. Yeah. So that's the correction I wanted to make this week, because I got to thinking about what I said, and it's like, no, that's not right. I had given Spinette some inaccurate information. So Spinette, if you should happen to watch the playback, that's the correction that I wanted to make. I had given you some incorrect information. I apologize, and I stand corrected. But so what's been going on this past week? So I got me a new pair of boots, and I've applied for work. I applied for a couple jobs. I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to give any of that away. But both jobs pay fairly good wages. I have to shut the door for a minute. I gotta get stuff yet. Oh, better leave the house then. All right. I'm live right now on YouTube. Okay, so. But I had gotten a couple of jobs. I applied for a couple of jobs. I didn't get the jobs yet, but I applied for them, and they pay really good. They're part-time jobs, but they pay really good. And I'm not going to disclose where, but I am just waiting for, because I have to attend an orientation for one, and then the other one I'm waiting to hear from them to find out if I've been hired. And if I get hired in at both jobs, I'll have to figure out the work schedules. And so, yeah, I'm going to try to work. I'm going to get out there into the workforce and try to improve my quality of life and living, because that's what I want to do. I want to be out there working and earning a living. So I'm looking forward to that. And if I don't, then I'll just, keep doing what I do. But I'm very hopeful about the one job. And yeah, I'm stoked. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah. And I'll let you know how that goes. So with that being said, if I do get hired in at one or both jobs, there's probably going to be a shakeup. If I can't get Sundays off, there will be times when the Sunday video updates won't be available, and I will make an announcement in the community tab section of the channel, and I will say, hey, I can't do the Sunday video because I have to cover for someone this week, or they called me in for work, so I can't do the Sunday video, but maybe next week if I'm not busy working. But I'm really excited. Dad's excited for me. Amy's excited for me. I'm just hoping that I hear back from him. Oh, she got me some apples. Okay. The red delicious ones? Well, at least they're not brown and disgusting. But yeah, that's the big news of this past week. I've been busy filling out online apps, and the one I'm really hoping for, because it's graveyard. It'll be third shift, and it'll be a 9-hour shift. I'll start work at night, come home at daylight the next morning, and then I'll probably sleep for the rest of the day and then do it all over again, later in the night. But yeah, that's the big news of this past week, and I got me a pair of boots. And September's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. I suppose I should kind of talk about that a little bit. So we are in the 7th day of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. My advocacy efforts have been kind of, they've been going pretty good, although I don't get a lot of feedback on my Facebook posts. But nonetheless, people see them, they read them, they like it and scroll, or they don't like it, they don't comment, they don't do anything, they see it and just keep scrolling, which is fine. But I'm still doing my part to raise awareness, and I am doing what I got to do. I'm keeping my promise to my mom that I would continue on with my life and keep doing what I do for the babies, as she put it. And so, yeah. And all that flickering you see, that's from our television screen. All the flashing and the flickering in the background, that's from the television. We have a 52-inch TV. So, Yeah, you're gonna see the flashes and the flickers, although I might just shut the TV off momentarily, until the show ends, so that way it's not causing a distraction. So, 1 second again, guys, I do apologize. There. But I'm, keeping my promise to my mom, and, I'm doing what I gotta do. So, other big news? I don't know. That I've been talking to another girl, um, and she's wanting to try a relationship with me, and I don't know if we've actually made it official on Facebook yet. I told her, I said, "Well, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna, let's make it known to people that we are together. We're a couple, let's make it known and take it from there." But I have not seen anything yet. Because the girl I'm talking to, she doesn't know how to switch it to in a relationship with such and such. So, um, yeah, I shared a video on Facebook. By the way, there's a lighthouse in Grand Haven, Michigan, on the west side of the state. A 14-foot wave had overtaken the lighthouse. I mean, wow, that is incredible. That is a huge wave coming from Lake Michigan. Um, a massive 14-foot wave overtake a lighthouse in Grand Haven, Michigan during high winds. That's incredible. Wow. I mean, it's not unheard of. I mean, we get, phenomenon like that here in Michigan. We get all sorts of crazy weather phenomena here in the Great Lakes state, but I wouldn't live anywhere else in the world. I love Michigan. I love my state. We have a lot of history here. We're known for lots of things, as most people know. And if you've been watching my Fun Fact Friday videos over on the Jared Fuller Show, you'll learn a lot about the state, and you'll learn a lot of other facts that may not be life altering, they may not be life changing, but they are useless tidbits of information, and it works as content for that channel. Nonetheless, people learn something old every day because it's only new to them after watching that video or the videos, the series that I put out every week. So, Dad, how was your week? It was all what? Rough. Yeah, Dad was walking out into the living room from the kitchen and his back snapped. And he was like, "Oh, fuck, that's not good." And yeah, ever since he's been in excruciating pain, getting around with a walking cane, and it's not big enough for him. It's too short. But he's still getting around. He's still, yeah. Amigos were fucking dead. Were they? I went back out in the truck. I told her, I'm going back in the truck. Wow. I could have got around. So if you didn't hear that, Dad was saying that the electric Amigos, the electric mobility carts that they have at the grocery store at Frank's, they were all dead. And Dad uses the electric mobility cart to get around, so he can shop, so he doesn't have to walk. And all the batteries were dead, so he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna sit in the truck, wait for Amy to get out of the store." But yeah, so that's the big news for the past week, and I didn't mention the places where I applied for jobs because I don't need people harassing the employers. Yeah, or saying something horrible about me. I'm not going to put out there where I applied for work, but I can say that one job is a morning shift from 6 until noon, or maybe 6 until 2, depending on if I can pick up extra hours. And the other job is from 10 at night until 7 a.m. So, and they're both part time jobs, but the pay is good at both jobs. And I'm really excited about it. I know I could hold down a couple of jobs. Um, and it'll be nice just to get out. And the thing I like about this job that is graveyard is the fact that I won't have to deal with people on my during my shift. I won't have to deal with um people, just constant, because during the day the stores get packed. And yeah, because I'll be working at a couple of stores. I'm not going to say where, but um they're packed during the day. The peak business hours are during the daylight. So I won't be working at the one job. I won't be working during the day. It'll be the graveyard, and I'll be coming home during daylight, and I'll probably be coming home and crashing out, going to sleep. And the other job starts from the early morning, and I work until maybe 12, 2 at the latest. So the one job is, I think, like 6-hour shifts or maybe 8-hour shifts at the most, depending on if I can pick up the extra hours. And then the other job, that's a 9-hour shift at night from 10 until 7. But I think all available positions are 9-hour shifts. Um, but at the one job, I mean, they've already got my name tag, and the pay is good, living wages at both jobs. So the income tax refunds should be, you know, nice and juicy. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about that. Um, so Child Cancer Awareness Month, yes, we are on the 7th day. We are in the first week of Child Cancer Awareness Month. Um, okay, so um, we are in the first week of Child Cancer Awareness Month. Sorry about the dead air. Amy hollered for dad, and it was a bit of a distraction. Um, Go gold in September. Now, the old me, and this is a big change. This is a big change because the old me is like, yeah, gold ribbons have not made a difference. They don't change anything. They really don't. But I still post gold ribbons. And the reason for that is it acts as a signal that this is legit. Like that I've shared a lot of information so far on Facebook. I posted gold ribbons just to legitimize advocacy. And while I know that a gold ribbon is not going to just suddenly change things overnight, it is a signal that I am a survivor. And that's what people look for. So I go with that. But other than that, the advocacy efforts have been going rather gingerly. uh, but in any event, I made a promise to my mom that I would participate and reach out and do my part in helping as much as I can with the cause, and not letting certain people get to me. So I had, I think, one person, cut ties, sever ties with me. I really don't give a shit. It's their loss, but um, okay. But as for me, I'm doing okay, and I'm still raising awareness, and I'm still doing what I got to do. And the plans that I have not gone into detail about, I've only mentioned that, yes, I had plans. Some of those plans executed nicely, and I couldn't be more happy about it. And I'm going to continue doing what I do, and leaving that information and those details off the internet, leaving them off um, my social media, leaving them off of places where my haters can, you know, be liars and be deceitful towards people who um, don't know any better. But I'm doing good. I had a pretty good week, a busy week. Keeping in contact with my family and friends, and hey, Spinat, great to see you, buddy. So, Spinat, I mentioned this at the top of the show, which you probably weren't here for that. Last week we talked about artificial flavor, right? Watermelon, and I said that artificial flavors are extracts from natural flavors. I was wrong about that. That's incorrect information. Artificial flavors are chemically made. They don't come from natural flavor. Like you were saying something about your buddy can't eat watermelon, but he eats watermelon candy or watermelon flavored candy or something to that effect anyway. I was incorrect in the information I had given you. The correct information is that artificial flavors are factory chemically made. They're not from they're not from natural flavor. So I was wrong about that. Um yeah, yeah. I was incorrect about that. And I've been carrying this all week, hoping that you were going to return this week so I could tell you, hey, the information I had given you was incorrect. Um, Bad information. And I'm here to correct it and to set the record straight. Um, but yeah, artificial flavors do not come from natural flavors. They are chemically made in factories. So how have you been, Spinette? How was your week, buddy? And I'll give Spinette a chance to respond. Um, But I did, and as you could see behind me, I got like this kind of like a necklace hanging here. So what I did was last week, I went to the Home Depot. School started back up. Aw, yeah. Summer went by quick, didn't it, buddy? Mm, yeah. Well, anyway, I went to Home Depot and I bought a 3-foot jack chain, which is what that is. And I bought some of this high gloss yellow spray paint and I bought this little thing of glitter, the spray paint and the glitter, and I got some clear gloss from Walmart. So I got this from Walmart, the yellow spray paint from Walmart, the clear gloss, the clear coat from Walmart, and I got these where did I put those? They're little clasp hooks, lobster clasps for like necklaces and stuff. I got that at Walmart, and I'm trying to make a glitter gold chain for child cancer awareness. And then Dad had an idea, and what the like the clear tubing, yeah, yeah. And so yeah, we were at Quality Farm and Home in Corona, and got a new pair of boots, and yeah, they're Caterpillar boots. I should have a lot of feet then, huh? Spinat? If I have Caterpillar boots, shouldn't I have more than 5 toes on each foot? I think. Yeah, I should have more legs. I only got 2 legs. Um, but yeah, so my week was busy and well, how have you been? I've been doing pretty good. I applied for a couple of jobs last week. Not saying where. That's not to, I'm not going to announce that publicly because I haven't gotten the jobs yet. I haven't been hired in officially. But my chances of getting hired in at the one job are really, really favorable. What happened? What kind of pop? Cherry Pepsi. She dropped a whole bottle. But yeah, yeah, it is nice. I'm really looking forward to it, Spinat. The pay is good, you know, really good. And at this job that I'm hoping that I get, it's an overnight shift. It's a 9-hour work shift from 10 at night until 7 in the morning. The pay is really good. Um, but I'll be working the overnight shift. And then at the other job I applied for, those shifts are from 6 in the morning until 12 in the afternoon, or maybe 2 o'clock at the latest. And both are part-time jobs, but I figure if I can hold down a couple jobs, get some real cash rolling in, and hopefully I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I get hired in. And then if I do get hired in at both of these jobs, I'll have to figure out the work schedules. Like if I do nights here at this job, I'm going to have a day off or come in later at the same job And that, well, I don't know about the same day, but I'll probably be dog tired if I do it like that. Well, I'm not saying no, Dad, you're not. No. What I'm saying is if I get the job, the graveyard, on the last of the days that I work the part-time job, because I'll be at that part-time job from 10 o'clock at night until 7 in the morning. I would have to wait like a day in, like there would have to be a day in between so I can rest up so I can do the 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. job. There would have to be a day like in between. I don't know if you saw my short, but I'm making a fan-made move set for Battlegrounds games. Basically, Battlegrounds game are fighting games like Mortal Kombat. I think I did see that, Spinette. Um, I've been keeping an eye on your channel quite a bit, and I've been trying to like and comment and do all the other good stuff that tickles the YouTube algorithm. Um, I haven't been ignoring you. I've just been really busy, but I'm pretty sure I saw it. I have animated 3 out of the 4 moves. Well, good. Cool. And if I get hired in at the jobs that I applied to, there's a chance that the quality of my videos on my YouTube channel will be a lot better because if I'm making, because these are good, the pay is good. The hourly pay is really good. So like if I save up enough money, I could get a subscription to like video editing software and add special effects to my videos to enhance the quality. I can render the videos in 4K. I can add all kinds of special effects. I can do lots of cool things and advanced things to make things, to enhance the quality of the videos on the Jared Fuller Show and even here on my main channel. Um, so that might be something I look into. Um, Nothing written in stone just yet. Nothing set in stone, but there is a possibility that I may do that. Have you been to your grandma's yet? Did you get your email address, Spinette? I'll give you a chance to respond. Um, for those of you who weren't here, you haven't. So for those of you who weren't here last week, um, yeah, school started back up, right? So for those of you who weren't here last week, Spinette and I were talking about, keeping in contact via email because we're both YouTube content creators, and but he forgot his email address and the password and all that good stuff. He left it at his grandmother's house, and he hasn't been to his grandma's yet because school started. So I have not received any emails from Spinette. But Spinette, when you do email me, when you finally email Jer Bear, put Spinette in the subject line if you can, so that way I know it's you. If you would do that for me. Because if it goes to the spam folder, there's a chance I may just delete it without actually looking because spam mail is spam mail. It goes in the spam folder, but I don't want your email to end up in my spam folder. I will keep your email as a contact in my contacts, so that way it'll recognize your email and your email address from now on. Okay, sounds like a plan. This week, I don't know what's happening this week. Well, I may be hired in for a job. I don't know. I'm just waiting to go to orientation for one of the jobs. Matter of fact, I can check the status of the orientation for the one job, which, by the way, again, I'm not saying where I apply for jobs because I don't need people harassing me and um, giving falsehood to the employers, the people who, huh? Yeah, I don't need people starting trouble. Um, so the orientation, it's still pending because I got the app on my phone and it tells me, but it's coming soon. Well, I'm still waiting patiently because they're gonna have a date for me when I have to show up and I have to appear for orientation. And of course, yeah, drug testing. I gotta have blood drawn and um yeah. So back to the childhood cancer awareness because it's the first week of childhood cancer awareness month. It is the seventh day of childhood cancer awareness month. I'm going to talk about that for a little bit. So I get this a lot from people who are not educated enough about cancer. People come to me a quite a bit and say, "Jared, you know there's a cure for cancer, they're just not telling you. They're not releasing the information." And for me, it's annoying because it's a claim in which you have adopted a burden of proof.
We've heard stories that the guy that had the formula for the kill the cancer and
Yeah.
treatment got killed off. That's what we
I don't know how true that is either, but when people tell me that, "Well, Jared, there is a cure, they're just not releasing it," it's annoying and it's obnoxious. Now, it's a claim that has adopted a burden of proof, meaning that if you're making the claim that they know a cure, they're not releasing it, point point me in the direction of where this evidence can be found, and I will read it, because you're making unfounded proclamations about things you are not educated enough to discuss, and you're saying this to a person who survived cancer as a child, which is really annoying. Now, when I say things like there is no known cure for DIPG, that is a factual statement. I just installed Facebook. What's your Facebook again? It's Jared Fuller. It's matter of fact, Spinat. If you go to my homepage here on my Facebook or on my YouTube, there's a link to my Facebook profile right on the homepage. So go ahead and shoot me a friend request and I'll accept you. Um, Now, when I say that there is no cure for DIPG, that is a factual statement because scientists are working around the clock night and day trying to discover a cure for DIPG at this time. We have no known cure for this. This is not me saying, well, they know the cure, they're just not releasing it. There is no scientifically known cure. They are a matter of fact, the federal government has cut funding to the Brain Cancer Consortium, which absolutely pisses me right the fuck off. And not even as an advocate, but as a human being, it's irritating that our government would do this. Again, the kids take another hit because the government does not prioritize our children enough. But when I say that there is no cure for DIPG, that is a claim where the burden of proof um, has there's no evidence for that. You have two friends, right, Spinat? I'm going to give you a chance to respond, Spinat. But while I'm waiting for him. Um, this is this is a way for people to try to, you know, okay, you sent a message. Okay, let me check it out. Um, let me see here, buddy. I'm not going to say your name publicly, Spinette, but is your first name 3 letters? I'll give you a chance to respond. Because, okay, so what it does, I'm going to get back to my point. So, what it does is it gives people who are uneducated about cancer, it gives them the opportunity to say, well, there's a cure, they're just not telling you. they're trying to smuggle that in with me saying there are no known cures for DIPG. But when I say there are no known cures for DIPG, that is actually scientifically proven to be the case. There's no evidence to evaluate. In fact, there's probably currently evidence against a cure for DIPG currently until they have discovered it. But to say that, well, Jared, there's a cure, like, there's a panacea for all cancers, Jared. They're just not putting it out there. There is no known panacea for all cancers. There's just not. And so when someone comes at me with that claim, which it's adopting a burden of proof, that to me is very dishonest, and it's frustrating. So with those people, I shrug them off. It's like, you know what? You are not educated enough you are not on my level of understanding of childhood cancer. So please do not have this. I'm going to end the conversation. I'm going to block you and end the conversation because you're embarrassing yourself. And so what happens then is these people like Don Holloway, they just run, they run and hide, and, oh, Jared was so mean to me. And by the way, Don Holloway, he is a 70-year-old man who's on the autism spectrum, and we had a bit of a back and forth. And when I called him out for being a fucking liar and full of shit, he actually wrote a post and he tagged me in the post, and he says, oh, Jared's mean and he's not the kind of person you think he is. No, I am exactly who and what I say I am. And you found out that I am exactly who and what I say I am. And when you're going to come at me with falsehoods about childhood cancer, I'm going to call you out. And I'm going to tell you, you're embarrassing yourself, and to stop you from further embarrassment, I'm going to block you. Well, I found out he tagged me in the post, and then I blocked his ass. But this is, Don's not the only person who's done that and trying to engage with me on subjects that they know nothing about. Then I've heard, well, this kid, they're used to my germs. I'm sorry, but germs are germs. You don't have special germs. Germs are everywhere. You will never scrub the world clean of germs. You will never escape germs. Germs are everywhere. Germs are all over the place. So when you tell me that a cancer kid, whom of which, by the way, the person who said this is just a friend, a lifelong friend of the mother of that cancer warrior. Oh, well, that he's used to my germs. You're full of shit, because germs are fucking germs. They're not special germs. You don't have a special kind of safe germ that no one else possesses, because you're around other people who may have germ, like a contagion going on. If you contract what they get and you pass it on to that kid whose immune system is already shot to begin with, you are not doing them a favor. So don't give me this bullshit about, oh, he's used to my germs. There's no such thing as being used to someone else's germs. It's so stupid. And it's so stupid that it's not even funny.
Besides that, Jared, when they need, say, blood, they want you to get blood.
Yeah.
They think anybody's blood will work? Come on. No. Certain.
Well, blood types have to match.
Yeah.
Blood types have to match.
Yeah. But germs, come on.
Germs are everywhere. You're never going to escape germs.
You walk on your floor, you got germs.
All the time. There's germs everywhere. That's another thing, so I deal with people who say, well, there's a cure, but they're not releasing it. And then they say I'm being dishonest when I say I don't know, because it is a claim. See, whether or not you say, well, they know there's a cure, they're not giving it, or if you say there is no cure and that they're never going to find it, that's also adopting a burden of proof. Both claims adopt a burden of proof. Where's the evidence showing that there's no cure for cancer at all? I have no idea. As far as a panacea, like a cure-all, I'm not made aware of that. I don't think anyone is. But to say in an uneducated colloquial sense, well, there's no known cure for cancer. You're talking to someone who was cured of cancer. And it's not to say that children have not died from Wilms tumor. They have. And I'm friends with the parents whose child has died from Wilms tumor. You can die from any kind of cancer. Although Wilms tumor is a more favorable treatable cancer, it's still dangerous and it's still life threatening and it's still deadly, just as much as any other cancer.
They're getting that goddamn shot. I know a lot of people have gotten that shot and died from it. I've known people that have never got it and still here. They're still going, and I'm one of them. I ain't getting that fucking shot.
Okay,
Hell no.
Spinette, let me see.
And then they were talking about it on TV that
Okay.
John Up was talking about it.
Thank you for updating your profile picture, Spinette. I appreciate that. Cool. Yes, we are now connected on Facebook. Yay. Yes. Thank you, buddy. You're going to find a lot of posts about childhood cancer. Yeah, we'll be able to chat now, Spinette. Absolutely. For sure. After the show, I'll hit you up in Messenger. So those are the two things. Without using email, sure. So those were the two things that prominent things that I've dealt with. And when someone says there's no cure, well, there are cures for certain cancers. Yes, specifically and individually, yes, there are cures. But there's not a panacea. There's not one cure that will obliterate all kinds of cancer. DIPG remains at the top of the list. They are still studying and researching cures for DIPG. They have not found one yet. It's not to say that there never will be. It's just at this time, we have no known cure. That is a scientifically proven fact. And scientists are working around the clock to find the best treatments, the safest treatments, and trying to discover a cure. And of course, the lies and the gossip, which I'm not even going to get into that. That's its own separate issue. But there's a lot of uneducated buffoonery happening in the childhood cancer world that I'm confronted with as a survivor. And when I find myself having these kinds of conversations where people tend to speak out of turn, where they try telling him what cancer's like, when they've never in their life had to live the life that we have, and they try speaking profoundly as though they understand. And no, and that's another thing that really, it just really bugs me. And I harp on this quite a bit on Facebook. It's like, I'm more directed towards the families who are living it or have lived it. They understand the seriousness of it. And collectively, we can help other families get through that. Now, a lot of the families that I'm friends with, they have opted out of advocacy again this year. That's up to them. I'm not even mad about that. They don't have to do it. I went back to advocacy. I returned to advocacy. One, because I made a promise to my mom before she passed away. And two, how is it fair to everybody else if I don't?
Your mom died of cancer.
And my mother died of urothelial carcinoma.
From the shot.
So, I'm trying to, how do I say this? I'm trying to get back what I lost. I'm trying to get back lost time. And, once upon a time, I wasn't in advocacy for a good 5-6 years. And it was because I was really frustrated and aggravated at the direction that childhood cancer had taken. I didn't like the behaviors of the people who were behaving immaturely and childishly and perhaps still do. There are people out there who don't like me, and I really don't care. There are people who make up lies and gossip, and they do this relentlessly and ruthlessly and nonstop to try to shut me down. They're never going to.
Not gonna happen.
They never will. Because too many people know better. And there's no victory in being a liar. There's no victory. Because when you fabricate a story, when you lie about someone, and then you try to, to not only to cut them down, to make them look bad, but then you're using the story to scare people away. At the end of the day, it does not say anything about me still. It says more about you.
Problem is, they believe their own lies, Jared.
No, it doesn't say anything about me is the point.
Nope.
When you have to fabricate a bullshit story to scare people who already can't, they don't have the intelligence of a fucking doorknob. But when you scare people into believing things without evidence, without proof, without any way of verifying or examining or analyzing or investigating, you have done the ultimate disservice to childhood cancer and the cause. Because I'm not just another advocate who's raising awareness, I'm a survivor. I've been through some shit. I've been through things that most people couldn't handle. And I talk about my life experiences and I open up about my life experiences
Hopefully people
to help people. My advocacy efforts are not for me. My advocacy efforts are for them, for the people who are scared, the people who don't know what tomorrow will bring, the people who are just, which way do I go? I have to make difficult decisions for my child. I have to sign all these documents. I have to sign paperwork, um, giving people these people in lab coats legal permission to put legal poison through my child's body. My mom and dad had to do it. They were given no other option. That's why I think for so many years, that's why I kept saying a gold ribbon is just a gold ribbon. It's a symbol. And most people, even now, are still saying today that childhood cancer is more than just a gold ribbon. And they're correct. It is more than just a gold ribbon. It's my life too. And it's really something how human beings are. I'm not ever, and I have never debated the safety of children. That's not something you can debate ever. People have tried to make it sound like I've debated the safety of children when I have not. What I have done is try to get people to understand that believing things without evidence is obnoxious, it's lazy, it's sloppy, it's irresponsible, and it's just plain fucking stupid. Because when you stop long enough to say, wait a minute, they're telling me something, I shouldn't just, knee-jerk reaction. I shouldn't just go and block this guy.
go find evidence.
I want to see exactly what you're talking about. Their minds go to negative constantly. They don't think about, let's push the accuser into submission. Instead, they just go after the person who's being attacked already, which to me doesn't make sense. If you're going to get information on someone, the best thing you can do is to hold their feet to the fire, the accuser. They're the ones saying that, making these claims. they have adopted a burden of proof, meaning that evidence is required for the claims they make. If you're coming at someone, um, and they're, you're fine, Spinette. Um, if you get information about me, gossip or whatever, you push those people on providing evidence for the claims they make.
Or get a hold of you.
Or, yeah, even get a hold of me. Find out, have the conversation.
And you get it.
However, it is not up to me to prove innocence. They're the ones making the claim. They have adopted a burden of proof. They have adopted the responsibility to present the evidence for the claim they make. And if they can't do that, you don't just go and believe it anyway. You withhold belief until evidence has been presented. There's no evidence of any falsehood that would warrant belief that I have done something horrible. And furthermore, I wouldn't be sitting here today, September 7th, 2025. I'd be sitting in jail or prison because they've accused me of a lot of horrific shit. But you have nothing to worry about. None of that is true. Now what you have are people who are just bored and they get some kind of pleasure out of scaring people. And well, Jared is this and Jared's that. And did you hear Jared said all these horrible things about parents in his daily rounds? You're fucking right, I did. I'm not denying that. I can't deny it. The evidence is on my channel. Go watch it. Go listen. I'm not denying anything. Not in that regard. But everything else, calling me a predator and whatever, that's just not factually true. There's no show the evidence where I'm being predatory. And then when you get that evidence, instead of turning it into gossip, put it in a police report if you think that's what's happening. Yeah, and call me pedophile and all that shit.
They did a background check on you, and there's not a goddamn thing on there.
Okay, Dad's talking about when I applied for the jobs. Recently, they did, of course, they have to do background checks. Are you a known felon? No. I have no felony convictions on my record. Are you a registered sex offender? No, because I've never been put in prison for it. I don't do things like that. And it came back that I passed with flying colors. I passed the background check with flying colors. So
Well, then you fucking pipe and smoke a dick.
it makes their gossip look really, really puny. Really, really small. And Spinette, I'm just here ranting because we're down to the last 8 minutes of the show, and I am going to message you when I wrap up here. But just know that people who get some kind of joy and pleasure bringing other people down, they're miserable people.
They must have a rotten life.
They are not happy people. And I'm coming to you today as a survivor and yes, as an advocate. Thank you very much. That I'm doing fantastic. Despite the fact that there are people out there who hate me because they're instructed to hate me. They have no valid reason for hating me. They're just told to do it, which is childish and mundane in my view. And I'm above that. I'm not better than anybody, but when it comes to the childish behavior exhibited by grown-ass adults, I'm above them. And I'm above that. Because I don't go around hating people simply because I'm instructed to by the mob.
And I thought we were taught teach our kids not to hate nobody.
Well,
Boy, there's something bad example.
Well, and that's the generation that Dad is talking about. Their kids are witnessing how childish and irresponsible their parents are behaving. And those kids, unless the parents straighten up their act, the world is going to clean them up pretty good, and it's not going to be nice when they do. Because it could be me today and it could be you tomorrow. So that's something to bear in mind, because if they're willing to throw me under the bus and make shit up about me that's not true, what's not to say they're not doing it to somebody else? And the problem there is that the people that they gossip about that may live closer to them, they may not be so forgiving. I don't want to go into detail, but they may not be so forgiving. They may not be so lax about it as I am. There's nothing I can do to stop people from gossiping about me. But what I can do is I can continue to live my life. I can continue to do the things I do to try to make this world a better place for all of us. I'm always happy to do good things for people. Now that I got my boy Spinette connected on my Facebook, we're going to talk. We're going to shoot the shit. We're going to chill. I try to set a good example. That's what I tried to do with All Things Jared. I tried to set a good example, especially for young people. And the gossip was, oh, Jared is a creep and a pedophile because he shouts out kids' channels. The reason I shouted out the kids' channels is because as a grown adult, we have to set good examples for young people. We have to show young people that it's okay to do things out of the kindness of your heart, not because you're required to do them, but because out of the kindness of your own heart, you feel it's necessary to do things to help people, just like I did Spinette. Not once, but twice. With my new channel, The Jared Fuller Show, I shouted out Spinette's channel. I did it with All Things Jared. I did it with The Jared Fuller Show. It's to set a good example for Spinette and to influence and inspire him and young people like Spinette to make the right choice. That the world has enough hatred and bullshit in it. I mean, we just saw this with the shootings in Minneapolis. Children died. Innocent children died. And the gunman turned the gun on himself. I have no sympathy. I'm going to go on record as saying I have no sympathy for the guy. Fuck him. He was depressed. He was sad. You know what? I deal with depression myself, but I have no, and I'm not claiming superiority. Everybody gets depressed sometimes. I get depressed. That's why I take Celexa every day. But I'll be goddamned if I'm going to go and shoot up a church or a school or shoot into a crowd. It'll be a cold day in hell before I commit an atrocity against humanity. I don't feel sorry for the prick, the disgusting, foul piece of shit who opened fire on children. I have no sympathy. He's dead. Good riddance. I don't care. He's better off not existing. So with everything happening in the world, guys like me and my dad and yes, Amy, all of us adults, we have to set good examples for young people. In the child of cancer demographic, I have done absolutely everything I could to set a good example and to set a precedent for young people. See me whenever. Hey, Spinetta, I'm going to message you when I'm done here because it's 4:00, and I'm absolutely going to message you here in a minute. But, and I hope, Spinetta, if you're still here, I hope that I have inspired you and encouraged you to make good decisions, to want to help other people. I hope I've been a good example for you. This is what being a human being is all about. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad I have. Because I love you, Spinette, and I care about you. You're my buddy. And we will talk as soon as I wrap up this show,
Which is going to be real quick.
which it's 4:00 right now.
You know,
I love you, Spinette. Everybody watching, from wherever you're watching from, I love you. Get out there and make the world a better place. Go gold for childhood cancer. Post your gold ribbons. Show your support. If you have been through this, explain to people, these families, what it's like. Don't be a piece of shit liar and fabricate a story about someone you don't like in the demographic. Be someone who can be trusted and someone that these families will turn to. I'm doing it. You can't knock me down. And as I always say, childhood cancer couldn't stop me, and neither can you. So, September's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Go gold in September. Tonight, the Fox Sunday Flashback with Dan Richards, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. The request line, 810-230-9777, spells out WRSR. Dad, any final thoughts?
yeah, just be safe out there and take care of yourself and us.
Spinette.
But us, nice talking to you.
He
Good
can't say
for
it.
you.
Amy? Amy says, peace out, be safe. And by this time next week, I may have an update on the job openings. And if I'm not working, I'll be back next week. If I'm not an employee somewhere. I love you all. Take care of each other. And like I said, if I'm not an employee somewhere by this time next week, I'll be back next week. Much love and take care. Bye-bye.